Hey guys, it's Lucid. We've got another turn. It's turn 14. So, almost everyone's gone. Hopefully, we will pick up. Everybody was pretty quick. I mean, we got through these really fast. I'm like kind of spoiled because on my channel I kind of cracked the whip. I'm not hosting this, so I have to be like respectful of how other people do things. But, yeah, I normally like to go a little faster, a little farther, but I mean, we've been going pretty fast still. I think part of it's I'm like, it's the weekend, I'm like, let's blitz, boys. Okay. Here we go. We got a Deer Tribe Warrior, who's a commander. Not an unrest event. We got Air Gems, also not an unrest event. So that's fine. Very happy to not get unrest events or population loss events or minus income events. Hopefully that will be decreasing as our scales spread. Yeah. So we have a few things going on. I have signed an, and I can't totally, I'm glad I'm recording now rather than like banking up a few turns. I have talked with the player who's playing Feodod, which is, I think, probably one of the better, more scary builds in the game. And basically, I told him, hey, I'm leaving these provinces for you. And he said, yeah, thanks. And then I told him I'm taking this, and he said, that's fine. So what we said was this mountain range will just kind of like be a good natural border between us. And then we were kind of feeling each other out. And I was like, look, I don't really have any intention of attacking you. We don't really need to nap, but we can if you want to. And he was like, okay, fine, we can do it. So anyway, we are napped. Now, what this means, I have a nap with these guys, I have a nap with these guys, and I have a nap with these guys. I don't have a nap with these guys, but I don't really care about that, if we're completely honest here. And we're about to attack these guys. So, we are in basically the best early game situation you can kind of be in, where you expanded pretty well, you have naps with all your neighbors, and you're about to 2v1 somebody. So, anyway. And I also can't remember if we mentioned it last episode, but he has a... Sorry, yawn. He found a fort here with his Master of the Five Elements. Presumably he's building a lab. I'm not sure what it is. Could be a bunch of things. I'd have to actually kind of look up which ones it probably is, but it's a 500 wall strength fort, so it's not like a crystal castle or whatever that gives you the 1001. There's a few different ones, but we have a siege strength here of 114. So it's only a few turns sitting on top, and it can be ours. We're probably going to attack here and then attack here. So we're very happy that he found that fort. We don't want to give him much time to recruit stuff out of it. Now, he seems to be getting infantry of Ulm. And I want to talk about that real quick. And let's see if these units will be good. Infantry of Ulm. So you're like, okay, they have a flail, they hit twice, they're, you know, it's going to hit against shields, it does a fair amount of damage. They have really good defense. These are not these are not the heavy versions of Ulmish infantry, so they only have 19 protection. Now 19's a lot, and they do a fair amount of damage per tile. And they're always going to hit, so it's like 2 16 damage attacks. So let's talk about how well we think that will do versus these guys. So, these guys have a little bit of protection, so it's probably going to take 2 hits from a flail to hit them. So basically every turn they'll be able to kill one of these. When these guys hit, a spear is going to do 15 damage, but it's versus 19, but it's piercing, so we subtract 20%, so it's like, -4, so it's around basically they'll be doing chip damage. They'll be doing like 2 to 3 damage a hit, probably. Or 1 to 3 damage a hit. So, not a lot of damage. These guys are not going to do much, but they're going to take some hits. These guys, on the other hand, they don't have a very good attack score, but we're going to have Power of the Sepulchre on them, which will get them up to an attack score of 10. If we compare that to the Ulmish Infantry, they have... Where the hell are they? They have a defense score of 5. So even if I don't, we're going to hit almost every turn. And they have like, I don't know, 10 or 12 HP. So if we look at it, each time these guys swing, especially once they're at 10, they're going to hit like every attack. And they're going to hit every attack for 28 slashing damage. Now the way this works is, basically it's going to be against the full 19. So it's going to basically be doing like 9 damage a swing. Well, this guy says weakened. So if we go to like another guy... a lot of these are going to hit for 32. Basically, the damage after is going to get upped by 20% too, so even if it was... so let's say it does 13 damage, that's going to get increased by 20%, so it'll be like 14 or 15 damage. And then slashing is more likely to cut off limbs. Basically, these guys are going to one-hit kill the Ulmish Infantry. These guys are also going to punish the shit out of Ulmish Infantry. The other thing is we're going to be fighting in a cave if we're sitting on top of that fort. So we're going to have Dark Vision 50. And their guys are not going to have any. So this is Heat 2. I'm sorry, this is Heat 3. So, and it's only going to get hotter because we're about to go into summer. Which, you know, in Heat 3 my armor's going to suck. Like... The way this works is this has 17 protection, and this has 15. My natural protection is pretty shit, it's 2. So, the buff we get, or debuff we get, is from ice protection. So, like, let's say I have 17 protection, and then we'll add 1 from my natural protection. I don't know if that's even fair, but we'll say it's 18. That's probably not fair. What temperature is it here? 2. Yeah, so 17, get to 20. Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure how we get the +3. Oh, maybe is it built in? 1 second. I must have some that are in... Okay, these guys are not. This doesn't even make sense. It's cold 2 and they're 22. Oh, these guys are only cold 1. Okay, so that makes sense. Okay, sorry, my math was all off. I was holding Y, and why I was confused is this province is cold 2, and I was like looking at the people coming, I was like, how are they only protection 20? Well, it's because they have 18 body protection. I'm sorry. That's after protection. Basically, this is a 19 protection armor in cold 1. Because he had 2 to it. And then it's 19, and then with the 2 in their base natural protection, that's how you get to 20 for body. Okay? So, that's that. Now, when we're in Heat 3, what that is going to mean is that our body protection, which right now is 17, is going to go... or be subtracted, you know, by 6. So this 17 is going to go down to 11. And then we're going to get +1 from natural protection, so it's probably going to be around 12. So that's not good, but it's not horrible. And we have a decent amount of base HP. And against things like flails, like we don't have shields. We're also going to be fighting in darkness. So in darkness, they are going to get a -3 stat penalty, and we are going to get a -1 stat penalty. So let's think about it. We are attacking for 12. This is going to get reduced by 1 in darkness, and it's going to be against their defense of 5, which is going to be subtracted by 3, so it's going to be defensive 2. So we're literally going to hit every single time we swing. On their side, the other thing is we're length 3, and this actually turns out to be pretty important, because we've got pretty high attack, like we're attack 12. On their side, now they're probably feeling like, oh, okay, he's not, you know, like he's probably thinking about attacking, well, okay, I know he was thinking about attacking me in the heat. I mean, in the summer. So, he's got a length 2 weapon, right? And, okay, sure, he gets 2 attacks. But his attack skill is 11. This is going to be reduced by 3. So it is going to be attack skill of 8. And it is going to be against my guys with an attack skill of, well, that guy was afflict. Just take this guy. My guys with an a defense skill of 8. Which is going to be subtracted by 1, so it's going to be... Oh, they're in a swamp, though, so it'll actually be a little higher. So that is not a swamp, so... Let's just check right here real quick. Yeah, they'll have a defense of 9. Sorry if this is like tedious for you, but it's important. Okay, so yeah, they're gonna be attack skill of 8 versus my defense skill of 9 minus 1, because we're gonna be in darkness. So, it'll basically be 8 versus 8. So they're gonna hit on 50% of their attacks. But they're gonna get repelled a lot. So I have our sizes are the same, so we're size 2, but my length is 1 longer. And what that is going to mean is he's going to have to make a repel check. Now, the way repel works is they're basically going to take my attack score, and I forget the exact math now, even though I used to kind of know it better. But basically, it's going to be my attack score, which is pretty good. It's going to be, like, what do we say, 11 or something in darkness? In the light darkness of the cave. It'll be like 11, and it will be against his defense score. Which is freaking horrible. It's gonna be a defense score of like 2 or 1. Yeah, 2. So I should get a lot of repels, is basically how it works. And if these guys get harassed at all, the defense score goes down some. So I think what is going to happen is only half of his attacks are going to hit. The ones that even hit, they're going to be going up against 12 protection even when I have my thing. So, yeah. They're going to be hitting for like 4. And they're probably not going to hit that, I mean, you know, 4 to 7 or something, right? So they're not going to be hitting for a ton. And they're probably, with repel and defense, like defense is a half penalty. And then with repel factored in, it's probably going to be, I mean, I bet you it's only I bet you 2/3 of the attacks or more get repelled. So they're not going to be hitting very often, is the point. And then they're going to be getting 1-hit killed by my big giants if those ever line up on them. And then they'll be damn near getting 1-hit killed by my glaives. Especially if we get... It's gonna matter whether it's a piercing or slashing. Ideally we want piercing, because they're pretty high protection. But 24 versus 19 protection, especially if we get the piercing, that's gonna bring the 19 down to like 15 or 16. And we are now very much in the range of 1-hit killing them. So, and he's not going to have a ton. The base nation for this is Pythium. So the PD here will be Pythium PD, which is pretty good, but it's just human, kind of shielded PD that doesn't do a ton of damage. The thing that is kind of important, and we'll see if we can find it, I think if I actually look at these guys, they have some Pythium type. No, they don't. Who had it? Somebody had it. Oh, these guys have it. Yeah, so this is kind of Pythium or Roman-esque PD. So, like, they don't hit very hard. We're not going to get the repel business, which is too bad. And they have pretty high defense, so it's not going to be the same kind of repelling. But yeah, that's... These we won't murder quite as quickly. But they're also not going to be terribly killy against us. They'll do damage. So if he does a huge PD drop, we'll see. It might be kind of okay for them. They're still going to kind of suck in darkness. I think that's it. I think that is all we need to cover for that. So the plan, though, is we're going to move people here. I've already got them scripted with how we're going to be basically scripted when we go in. I don't have a ton of spells to cast. We're dropping Power of the Sepulchre, right? That's our big buff. Divine Blessing, Twist Fate. That way, hopefully these guys don't get picked off. We'll have these guys kind of in the front. I'm probably going to have them a little more buried. And I mean, if he attacks me, I guess, which I find extremely unlikely, I guess I can scoot people back a little. Yeah, I'll probably mix these in. I don't really want them, especially in Heat 3, taking a huge amount of the brunt. But we'll do that when we move in, which should be pretty soon. So we're going to go from here to here and attack. We're doing a few things. I'm moving this guy into this fort. So it's kind of lucky we got him, because I actually really needed a commander here. And what we've got a ton of dudes. I'll put them here just to show you. We've got about 8 crossbowmen and about 19 ice guard. And what I speculate is that if we mix the crossbowmen and ice guard and then a bunch of these giants and we come here, we should be able to get this pretty easily. And then I think what we'll do is... Actually, not completely sure. We can come down here and check his capital. Which I think will be an unpredictable move. At the same time, we can ping this. And maybe even ping his capital. We'll see what I have in position, but... the only thing I'm kind of worried about is huge PD dumps. Like... I'll just... We'll go out of this real quick and I'll just show you something. So like... Whoops. If I take all my money and I put it in PD, you get like 40 PD. So those are the kind of things people do when they get rushed early, if they're good. And they have good PD. And Pythium PD is okay. I don't actually know. One second, let's see what actually Pythium can do for their PD. Okay, so I was wrong. I was thinking it was Pythium, but the base nation actually was, I went and checked, it's EA Airmore. So I pulled up a test game with EA Airmore, and this is 45 PD, which I think is about the most we could expect, but we get some kind of scary stuff. We get these guys who are the Levis. Now, they don't have great morale, so they'll break. Their defense is pretty high. Their protection's not terribly good. But in darkness... The thing is, in darkness, it's also going to affect my Solus. So, yeah, and the Javelins are going to be pretty good against even, like, my Ice Guard. So I feel like if he does a PD dump, we could kind of be caught with our pants down a little bit. Is kind of what I'm thinking. But, you know, what are we going to do? We're going to try it. But this, I think, would be a pretty good move. And a lot of it has to do with the Javelins. Javelins would just be murderous. So I think when we attack, we might do, like, a Javelin bait squad. Like, put some people up in the front, like maybe some crippled units. And the whole job of them will be to bait Javelins in the PD. Now, once we're on top of the fort, I don't have to worry about the PD anymore. So if they're not there and my guys die, then, you know, so be it. We can also reanimate potentially a little bit on top of the fort. Yeah, and we should siege it down pretty quickly. But the javelins, I think, are a concern. Once we close in melee, we're going to be trading pretty okay with these guys. Obviously, they have better attack and defense. Like, they're going to be hitting us, I think, about every time with 10 attack. And their defense, they have a parry of 4 on their shield, so their defense is really 10 with a -1 from the shield. So it's really 9. And then they have a 3 for parry. And what that means is, it basically, if a 13 defense roll will save you, but if a 9 defense roll will save you, you dodge the attack. If a 9 defense roll won't save you, but the +4 from parry, then you're gonna have to go through the shield protection in addition to your base protection. But that amount of protection is like 23. That's still enough for my giants to one-hit cleave through it. So the giants don't even really care if there's the shield block. So for the giants, it's really going to be a check against 9. And they won't be hitting that every time. I think it'll be like a third of the hits. Because I think most of my guys will pull it back up. But I think most of my guys... they hit for 6. Now this is going to get buffed up, but it's also going to get buffed down. So... but their defense is going to get buffed down. Anyway. So it's going to be as if we have an attack score of 10, but it's going to be against their... Yeah, we've been through the math enough. So what we'll do is we'll come through here, we'll get wounded non-giants, and we'll stick them in the front, and they'll hopefully soak up javelins, and then we'll have everybody kind of trickle in behind. I don't want the javelins hitting my ice guard. Yeah, there's a bunch of things I don't want the javelins hitting. Yeah. Not building a fort here. This is a very high value province, so... I thought about building a fort here, but I decided not to. The other thing I'm doing is I'm bidding all the mercs. Nobody's bid any of the mercs because expansion's over. But yeah, these guys, these are basically like, kind of like barbarian heavy cav. Or barbarian cav. They've got armor and bows, and I think they even have bucklers. So they're going to be pretty useful. We've got the bowmen, and I think this is just 20... I don't know if it's long bowmen or short bowmen, I don't care. Victor's villains, these are short bowmen. Now, the archery stuff is not going to be terribly effective against their PD. Because their PD has shields and some armor. And they don't really have archers as part of their PD. It will be effective against birds if they use birds. Because they do have birds. They have 2 birds. It'll be effective against the Agarthan light crossbowmen if we see those, but he has to actually recruit these. But like these guys, it's not going to be that effective against just with the shield. But it'll be okay. And then these guys, it's not going to be that effective against. 19 protection is too much for normal bows. So the bows are not really great, but they're better than nothing, and they add hit points to the field. So anyway, we're gonna get all of them. And potentially, I can, like, send all of them here, and then put this under siege same turn I take this, then I can move everybody on top. I have no idea what we're gonna do, but we'll figure it out as we go. Or I move a big doom stack here and a big doom stack here. I have a lot of options, basically. But yeah, getting these 2 forts would be huge. Oh, I need to ask the Max Verney how he's going to go through. I still haven't done that. I'm going to ask him if he's going to go through 18 or if he's going to go through here. Or maybe he's planning on going through here. But I kind of wanted this. But If not, then maybe I make a play for the throne. Or I could get, like, all of this. Maybe get some of the stuff on this side. I don't even know. But that's what we'll be doing. But yeah, I'm gonna have fort coming up here in 3 turns. This one's coming up this turn, or no, 2 turns still. Okay, shit. This one's 3 turns away. I think these, I'm making 3 forts right now. This one's been upgraded. We have turned on Warrior Smith production. I was thinking I really want to get a High Magus or 2. I need to make a few things. I need to make High Maguses. They're slow to recruit, so I'll probably get them maybe not immediately. And then I need to get Nahuli to get my nature site searching. And they're going to be important in my communions later, but really once I get Enchant 5. I have a lot of stuff I need to make, really, when you look at it. Here, we're just making Thaumaturgs at our capital. We want to make Eagle Kings, but do we have enough money? No, we don't. So we're making Thaumaturgs. We're making Crossbowmen, too. Crossbowmen. Probably once we get to the summer and we're gearing up for potentially Winter Wars, we'll make more of the Ice Guard. We're still making Ice Guard up here because I don't really have a big Ice Guard contingent. And we're taking these Ice Guard, putting them on this commander, and running them south. Because I've got naps with my neighbors, I'm going to pool all my resources to the south. So this will be interesting to see how it plays out. The big risk, of course, is the PD dumps. And he's got good PD, and I do not have like a Hellbless. And Hellblesses are things like, it doesn't really matter how much PD you bring at them, they're just gonna kill it. So yeah. The other thing I'm gonna need to think about doing next turn is I don't know how many birds he has, but if he potentially has a fair amount of birds, we may need to bump up PD in our provinces. So we'll see. Yeah, I don't think he has stealthy units. Yeah, no stealthy units. I don't have stealthy units either. Max Verney has a lot of stealthy units, I believe. He's got these foresters who are badass. And then he's got the Raven Guard. So he has a lot of different stealth options. And he's got bats which can lead them. He's got shaman who can lead them, or come with them. He's got the dryads who can lead them. The dryads, I think, are going to be his go-to leader for stealthy raids. He also has the Baobian Cid, which cannot lead but can tag along and do annoying things. So he has a lot of... This is like a highly stealthy nation. He also has Van Heers, which are stealthy. So this is a very, very sneaky nation. Yeah. Which honestly, we're going to be okay against. Generally, if you're like a free spawn generating nation, you're going to be pretty okay against stealthy raiders. Because you just have enough stuff you can patrol everywhere, have units everywhere. So I'm actually okay with that. But it's a very annoying thing to fight if you're not really set up for it. We're reanimating warriors here. And I think that's it. I don't think there's too much to cover. Aside from this. So, exciting times. Exciting times. Oh, a few other things. So, I've gotten the lay of the land diplomatically, and I'm going to kind of talk about where everybody is. So, this is Pompeii, and Pompeii has Movark Knights. He's, I think, right here, and he's been expanding out, like, over this way. So this is Pompeii. Nasmor, I have gotten dimensions on him. He comes down right like this if you follow my mouse. So he's not enormous, but he's well-sized. Down here is the... And I could have some of these kind of wrong, or like flip-flopped. Coming down here... can't remember if... I think this is the Alliance that's down here. Or no. Where's the Alliance? I think this is the Alliance. No? Oh god, I'll have to actually go and check. Some of this will be more clear as... Oh, the Alliance. Okay, so the Alliance... I think the Alliance is right here. God, maybe I go check. I have it all written down in various messages with players as we're figuring out where everybody is. But there's basically there's a nation right here. God, who was it? I want to say it's United Nations. I could be wrong. Shit. 1 second. Okay, yeah, so I went and checked. So it's United Nations down here. And he and I have talked. And then, yeah, he's basically said that Nazmor has all of this. Now, the Alliance... I know the Alliance has this province. And so I think the Alliance is, like, right here. And I believe the Alliance plus whoever is above these guys, and I'm not sure who's right here, but I could probably find out. I believe they're about to double-team Pompeii. But I could be wrong. I know Pompeii's about to get double-teamed. I don't know by who. Max Verney and I have been keeping very quiet on Nazmor. I've been asking people about them, but I haven't given any indication I might attack. And he is probably not expecting to be attacked. In the winter. I mean, in the summer. So that means there's a decent chance that, that there's not going to be PD dumps. But we'll see. What else? The other thing, PD dumping is pretty risky. It's pretty risky. Who else is down here? So I know the Agartha-themed nation is down. So these guys, Otheris, I believe I've been told they're down here. Kind of southwest of, Phaedod. Up here are Scout sees, Omnium, or whatever. Which is actually just Theodorus poking his head out of the lake. So kind of glad I don't really border them. And it could be we just run away from these guys, like... I don't know. Anyway, the Alliance has approached me and said, hey, do you want to attack these guys? And I don't see these guys as a huge threat. So I would rather attack somebody that I see as a threat with somebody I don't. Rather than just go after somebody that I don't see as a threat. It's kind of my thinking. Yeah. Who else is... Yeah, I don't know if I know... I've gotten some intel from Pompeii about who's around them, I can't remember. But... yeah, that's basically it. I don't know what other wars are breaking out aside from a war with Pompeii. But I'm pretty sure things are going to start getting interesting. Anyway, take care, guys. I'll see y'all.